it's Leanne here with Diamonds and Doxies. Of course, you already knew that because you're here. We're going to do a WIP and chat today. And WIP, WIP, in case you don't know, stands for work in progress. This is my work in progress, and it is called Sharky. And I thought I would, let's see here. Nope, that's not it. I've lost my little sticker sheet so that I could, or not my sticker sheet, but the, here it is. Hang on. I need to clean up my desk. Anyway, this is Sharky. I'm up here now, so I've got to go across here and I'll be done. It wasn't quite enough, and you'll see that here in a minute, to do another release paper. So these are going to be bigger sections than what I started out with. But anyway, what I'm using today is, I feel certain this is an Enabler's Outpost pen. But, you know, no. Gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. This may be Butterfly Effect Wears. That's what it might be. I don't remember. I'm terrible. I need to get better at this. I really, really do. Anyway, I've got my placers. I got a single placer from Diamond Art Club, and then a 8-place multi-placer from Diamond Art Club as well. In my single placer, I have glue dots, two micro glue dots, and in here I actually have some Mary Mud. It's called Beach Bum. She'll be opening up her shop again in September 13th, so not much longer, so you'll want to keep an eye out on that. And she is on Etsy. And she also has a YouTube channel, so I will link it down below. The kit I am working on, as I showed you the picture, it's also from Ever Moment, and I absolutely am in love. I'm anxious, though, to be done because I've got some events coming up that I'm just going through here and seeing some drills that are kind of popping a little bit. Oh, and I see one that I missed. But I've got some events coming up, and I haven't even kitted them up yet. So, you know, I need to be done with this one so that I can get started, at least kitting some other stuff up. So, without much ado, let me pull this over here. And as you can see, I'm going to do, these are bigger sections, so they're going to take me a little bit longer. But that's okay. That's okay. Let me see. I think I need to move you. Hold on. Let me see. Let me move you down this way. Trying to make sure. Yeah, I think so. I think that'll keep you in focus. I hope. Whew. Oh, and my tray is a Muni Made tray. So right there, I got it with a kit. If you order a kit from her, you can choose to get a premium tool kit, and it comes with one of her trays. Otherwise, you can just get on the waiting list, which I am on the waiting list. I think I'm like 365 down the row, so I don't expect to get anything anytime soon. But, you know, you can also buy a kit from her and get them a lot quicker. I love it. It's a great size. Yeah, I like it. Okay, let's see. What am I going to go with here? Let's go with K. Where is K? That is 993 on your listening dial. No, that's DMC 993. So let's see. I need to push that up a little bit. You know, the good thing about squares, you got to trust the process, because you know, if you're like, oh my gosh, this isn't lining up, you know, I don't know what to do, nothing's lining up. And the truth is you just got to keep going, because it will line up once you put down more drills, and you won't even notice where you had a problem. So you just got to keep working on it. Well, I know some of you are having cooler weather, and I think that is amazing. Am I jealous? Yeah, a little bit, because it is just so freaking hot. And, you know, we've put all this landscaping in, and I'd like to go outside and enjoy it, and it's just So hot. So very hot. But I went to, hang on, that's too many. I went to the surgeon yesterday for my follow-up, my 6-week follow-up, and it was for, you know, I had shoulder surgery back in July 17th. I think I do have some new people here, so you may not have known that, but otherwise, you know, I think most people did. And he said I was doing good. He said I was progressing well and that I could start using some resistance training. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, one thing he did say was, you know, because I told him, I said, it just hurts and I get so tired of the pain that I end up having to take something and I don't want to take anything and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, you need to take pain medication. And he said, because what's happening is you're stopping with the pain and you need to get just beyond that, you know? And if you're in pain, you're going to stop and go, I can't do anymore. And then, you know, the next day you're still sore, so you don't do anything. And then the next thing you know, you've made zero progress. So he was like, no, and I'm going to call you in an anti-inflammatory, because he said, what are you taking? And I said, I'm taking Advil. So he said, well, we're going to give you something stronger. So it's meloxicam, which I've taken before. But he prescribed me 60 of them, and I've never had anybody prescribe more than 2 weeks. So, you know, but he's the doctor, right? So I went and picked that up. And this morning, before I went to PT, I did take my meloxicam, and I did take a hydrocodone. And PT was, I'm not going to say it was a breeze, because yes, I did have, you know, I could only do so much, but I'm not in pain. And yeah, my thing is at home. I've always been bad about that, you know, even back when I was younger, and to, you know, exercise, it's like you can do all of this in your house, you know, all this aerobics and stuff you can do in your house. But left to my own devices, you know, I will be like, well, I would, but I really need to go to the grocery store. I really need to run this errand. I really need to do that errand. I really, you know, and then I don't do anything. But if I get dressed and I go to the place, then I'm there and I will do it. And that's kind of the way it is for me with physical therapy. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, I'll get right on that, you know, and then something comes up, or I get on my phone and I forget, you know, or, you know, I'd rather be diamond painting, or, you know, and all the stuff they want me to do at home. It's like, man, you're not talking 5 minutes of my time. You're talking, I don't know, close to, excuse me, I'll reach here. I got to get my drink. 45 minutes, an hour. And it's like, I could be diamond painting. So, yeah, I don't know. So I've got physical therapy scheduled until all the way to the middle of September. And I'm not sure how this is going to work out, because, you know, I have that retreat. So I don't know if I'll be graduated from it by then. I would like to be, but I don't know. The cool thing, though, is the exercises that he's having me do. I feel like it's making me stronger across the board. You know, like I'm having to use my right arm a lot. And so, you know, my bicep, it gets sore. And it's like, well, you know, to be honest, I haven't, you know, since I hurt my shoulder, I have, you know, those muscles have just gotten weaker and weaker. So that is kind of cool to do. And, you know, if you've been with me for, you know, 6 months or so, you know, I'm not real big on physical therapy. It's kind of, I always think it's like snake oil. It never does any good. And this is the first time that I can say without a doubt that no, physical therapy works. So I don't think I think this is the first time I've had it work. When I say that it worked, that I felt good about it, you know, like, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, I do like physical therapy now. First of all, I mean, because by the time he gets done stretching out my, or, you know, doing exercises that stretch out my shoulder, I mean, it just feels so much better. So much better. So, yeah. Let's see, what else has been going on? Well, you know, if you have an answer, I would appreciate it. But so many times, I mean, so many times when I do a live, and yesterday I did a live, and then all of a sudden, I froze once and then came back. So I was like, oh, thank goodness for that. And then I'll be darned if I didn't freeze again. And then it was like, there's no coming back from this. And then, you know, people get tired. I mean, I can't blame them. You know, it's like, well, you're frozen. I've got stuff to do. And, you know, I haven't got time. Totally understand that. But I don't know why I freeze. Do you have any idea? Because, I mean, the Wi-Fi is supposed to be good up here. I mean, I can do everything else, but the streaming just real. I mean, I wonder if my internet is being throttled. Yeah, I just don't know, y'all. I mean, I go live at 2 o'clock Central Time, so, you know, it shouldn't be using too much of people. I don't know. I don't pretend to know how internet works, but what I do know is it's frustrating as heck to me, you know, because I don't get to say goodbye, you know, and I like to say goodbye. And then I've had a few people, you know, message me or leave in the comment, you know, hey, your video just ended abruptly. What happened? Well, that's what happened. And as far as I know, there's not a way to go back in and edit a live and, you know, and add on a little, you know, thing at the end that says, sorry, folks, you know, I froze and whatnot. I mean, it was at the end. It was because I go for about an hour and it was like at the 55-minute mark. So, you know, I mean, we were getting ready to shut it down anyway. But, yeah, it's kind of frustrating. I mean, if it had been earlier on, I would have just started a new one. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know what causes that. I mean, I don't know if that's a YouTube thing. I'm looking for any more K's. And I'm going to see something if I turn this off. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it affects you, but the glare is getting me. I think it's from the moonlight, even though the moonlight is not on top of it. And I'm sure I am overlooking some K's, but that's okay. So let's see. Let's do some H's. Excuse me. So yeah, I just don't understand. But goodness gracious. But I so enjoy going live. You know, and it's so funny because when I first started my channel, I was like, no, I am not going live. No, I am not going live. And then Ditzy had me on her live, and this was, I mean, I was way early on in my channel, and I literally thought I'm going to throw up. But then once I got on there, you know, and started talking, it was fine. You know, I had no problems whatsoever. So I was like, okay, you know. I think my biggest fear, because now I still get nervous about it, but my biggest fear is that no one will be there, you know. Like, I'll be there, and nobody will show up. So that's, you know, I guess I'll always have that fear. I don't know. So I always think, what do? Do you just continue talking in case anybody watches a replay? Because I watch a lot of replays. I miss a lot of lives. So a lot of times I'll have to do replays. And so it's like, do you just keep talking? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Would I just sit there and talk to myself? I don't know. I don't know. So, let's see this here. See, this is like, looks like it's not lining up right there, but it will once I get all of the drills placed. I don't like this glare, y'all. It's driving me bananas. Bananas. All right, let's do F. So yeah, it was a good visit with the doctor yesterday. It was a good PT appointment. I mentioned it on my live, but I'm going to mention it here too. If y'all don't follow Star's channel, and gosh, I hope I don't forget, I'll link it down below. On Tuesday, she had a praise and worship. You know, she's a diamond painter, and she has diamond paintings as well. I mean, she does do that. Hang on, I got to get some more drills out. This is 954. I just love the colors in here. But it was so nice, and I just sat here and diamond painted, and it was just, I mean, if you're a Christian, it really, you know, it was very uplifting, and it was a nice change from my routine, you know, and I really enjoyed it. So if it's something you think would be up your alley, then give her a chance. Check her out. You know, she's got a lot of subscribers, so I think she just celebrated 2,500, which I can't even imagine what that looks like. But yeah, and someone told me she does them on Sunday, so I don't know. Sundays are going to be harder for me because I do watch Mia, so I don't know what time on Sundays. I don't know. But yeah, so if you're in the mood, you should check her out. And like I said, she also does diamond paintings. You know, she is a diamond painter, so yeah. But yeah, on Sundays, I am generally, you can find me usually on Mia's channel. Sometimes, you know, I can't for, you know, whatever reason. Last Sunday I couldn't because it was my son's birthday. We were, but I did come on later. You know, I didn't miss the whole thing. I just missed a little bit. And I don't know about this Sunday because I don't know when I'm going to see my dad. And, you know, used to I would go see him on Thursdays, but my schedule has changed so much, adding in physical therapy. So obviously I couldn't go today. So I don't know. And I don't know about Saturday. I'm not sure. It may be Sunday. And in which case, then I'll miss her live. But it's just this little season right now of, you know, I mean, when you're used to not really having any schedule, and then all of a sudden you do, it's like, oh my gosh. And I got a recall on my car. I need to get that in. Haven't made time for that. I finally got my hair cut today. That was awesome. Just so happened that the guy who cuts my hair that I really like, he had an appointment at 10, so I was able to get my hair cut. But I've got to get my car in for the recall because it's something to do with the brakes, you know. That's a pretty important part of your vehicle. And I'm going to be driving to the Lone Star Retreat, so that's about a 4.5 hour, 5 hours, somewhere in there. I don't know, because I'm not sure exactly where it is in New Braunfels. So I want to make sure I got brakes and whatnot. You know, I mean, honestly, I should fix it before I go see my dad, honestly. Well, I don't want to have a wreck here by the house either, but I sure don't want to be on the highway, you know? So, anyway, I need to do that. So, and of course, Monday is Labor Day. So, I don't know. Yeah, and next week, my PT is on Wednesday and Friday next week. So maybe I can try to get my car in. Maybe I should call them later and see if I can't schedule something for Tuesday, maybe. I don't know. Tomorrow, I've got a guy, and I need to look and see, because I don't remember. If he told me what time, I don't remember, and I don't know that I wrote it down. There's a trashy one. You got to remember with squares, you cannot hold on to the trashy ones. They will mess up their whole canvas. So, and it'll take you a while to go back and figure out which one has got the tab on it or something. But it'll make it all wonky. But anyway, he's coming tomorrow sometime and to check out our house and give us some recommendations and a bid on installing a Ring doorbell and some cameras around the house. You know, not inside, but outside. So, yeah. So that'll be good. Max doesn't really want the cameras on the outside, but I really do, because, you know, I want to see what's going on. I want to see, you know, right now I've got just an outdoor Ring camera that's on my back patio. So it just shows what, you know, critters come up there. But I want to see the critters all over. I mean, I want to know if there's an actual problem or not. Because, you know, we got skunks. And, yeah. Plus, you know, sometimes I wake up and, you know, I've heard a noise or something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, what just happened? Did somebody, you know, what happened? And I'd like to be able to look at the cameras and go, no, everything's good. You know, there's nothing, nobody's out there. So that's just me. Gosh, I hope my head's not getting in the shot. And I hope this is clear enough. I know, I mean, it looks fine from where I'm sitting, but I know one time it wasn't. And I still like for y'all to let me know, you know. So if, you know, if you have any constructive criticism for me, I am all ears. I mean, that's the only way I will figure out stuff. You know, don't just leave me. You know, don't just unsubscribe or, you know, or quit watching me because, you know, if it's something I can fix. As I will try my best. You know, you don't have to be ugly or anything, you know, like, I don't know, don't like your hands, you know, well, it's the only ones I got. No, I'm just making stuff up. No one's ever said that to me, so. But anyway, we're getting ready to get into a big old season of events. Or, I mean, I know there's events going all the time, but I guess I should say I'm getting ready to. I did the Oz and Og, and I put it away until next year because I just, yeah, I got so much. I am co-hosting an event, I'm sure you've heard, with Artemis, and it's called Cross Craft. And see, I keep forgetting, I don't think it's Crosscraft DP along. I don't remember now. Anyway, it's because you can do any craft. It's not just diamond painting. You can do any craft. There is an instructional video that, you know, gives you all the details. There's also a Facebook group, and I will try to remember to link that. That's very important. And also Artemis's channel, because I think most of the prizes, if not all the prizes, are going to be done either during lives or WIP and chats. So you're going to want to follow mine and Artemises so you don't miss out on any of the goodies, because there are some goodies in there. Artemis has really worked hard at that, and yeah, there's some goodies in there, and I'm pretty excited because I had all these things. Like, what am I going to do? I knew I was going to do a diamond painting, but I wasn't sure what. And then I was like, wait a minute. The Diamond Design Company is one of the sponsors, and so I bought some, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to work on those. Yeah, I don't know how many different ones I'll work on. I've got 3 sets. One set I've already started. I've started a while back. It's like, well, this would be a good time to finish it, right? It's like sea creatures. And then I got these patchwork animals. And they're just so cute. They're so cute. So I want to work on those. But then there's also one called Balloons on the Move. And I think I want to start it first. Those are more like mini kits. Because they're so colorful. So colorful. So, and I do have it kitted up. So I am ready. Yep. But I do need to kit down. Oh, no. Let me rephrase that. I'm not kitting down Flower Shop Ghosts. I was going to do that for Drills and Chills, and then I decided I'm not doing Drills and Chills. And I think it seemed like someone told me you had to have a new start, and it's not a new start. It's the one I used last year. So that won't work. But I need to move it into some storage that stays in the closet, not on my desk, so that I can make room, because I do want to do the cat fedora, and I'm looking forward to that one. And I do have to kit that up. 5. There. My goodness. So, and then I'm doing the pinup from Anthony. And my kit, it's a Henry Clive, and it's from Jaded Gem Shop. And I know that's going to take me a long time. I don't remember if it's square or round. Cannot remember. My cat fedora is square. Oh, sorry, y'all. I just... And let's see. Man, I hate this glare. Okay, 3 and 2. The cat fedora is round, and so I'm glad about that, because this will be a lot of squares. So the Oz and Og was also round. But I know that I don't know how to fix this unless I come over here and see if that works. No, not really. Trying to fix this glare. But I don't know about the Jaded Gem Shop. I think I did an unboxing of it, I think. But, you know, I got some kitting ups to do. And I'm thinking about doing it, you know, kind of with a time lapse, you know, because I don't know, but I need to do them. And if I'm going to film them, I need to start working on it. I don't know though. I don't know if I'm going to film it. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, nobody cares. But I don't know. If it looks like I'm struggling here, yeah, I am. I've got such a glare, and let me see if I can turn this, give it a different, no, that's not working. That doesn't change anything. How about that? That may be too low. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah, that's not helping me at all. Wonder if I just turned it off. Can y'all see? I don't know if y'all can see because it's dark. Let me try it for just a little bit. I mean, I've got overhead light on, but that's not very good. All right, let's come over here and start working over this side. So, what have y'all been up to? How are y'all doing today? As I speak, it is Thursday, and it is, let's see, what does it say? 2:51 in the afternoon. You know, we got a long weekend coming up with Labor Day. We have no plans, none whatsoever. People are saying it's supposed to be cooler. I don't know about that. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll tell you that much. We should start gearing up for the fall migration of the little birdies. They should be coming this way from the north. Usually they're headed to Mexico. So, yeah. Can't wait to see. You know, this will really be our, you know, we had bought the house. We just bought it a year ago in August 19th, as a matter of fact. But, you know, we didn't live here until recently, well, until February. So we really haven't spent a fall or an autumn here. We did bring in some lawn chairs, you know, when we first bought the house, because they didn't start remodeling it until it was in the middle of September, or maybe even a little later than that last year. So, you know, we haven't really got to see an actual fall or autumn, and so I am absolutely loving it. I can't wait. You know, even winter. Now, you know, we did get snow last year, and we did come over here, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful here. But, I mean, I want to be able to turn the fireplace on, and, yeah. I want to get my old fire pit up and running. I say old, I just got it, and I love it. It's huge, and it's heavy as heck. It's copper and cast iron, I guess. And it is so cool. And then today, we got our umbrella for our patio table. And I don't know why it's so difficult. Hang on, now I gotta find K again. But people just can't seem to find our house, you know? They just can't. And it seems like so many things get delivered to the wrong stupid house. It's like, do you people even look at numbers, you know? And do you even stop and go, well, now, wait a minute, you know? If that's 00 and that's 01 and that's 02, surely that's, you know, I mean, it's like, use your powers of deduction, people. But no, fortunately, you know, after I got my hair cut and I came home, I saw them there, and I was like, so I told Max, I said, is that for us? And he was like, I think so. So he had to go out there, and they had delivered it to the wrong address. They had to go get it. I was like, oh my gosh. But that's okay. We got it, you know. I mean, last time they delivered our rocking chairs, and they delivered it down the street. I mean, just delivered it down the street. It's like, you obviously didn't look to see what the address was. We have our address in the front of our house. Well, I mean, it's on the front of the mailbox, which is on the street, you know. And again, you know, you should be able to decipher, you know, if their address is 204, it's going to be next to 203, you know. And it's not going to be the corner house. Sometimes, you know, I don't know. But I mean, when you're delivering something heavy like that, you really need to make sure that you deliver it to the right place. Like, thankfully, we were very lucky in that Jacob was home whenever they delivered our rocking chairs, and he came over, and, you know, they had to drive around for a little bit just to see which house it was at. And, you know, so Jacob was a big help. You know, he helped, because I can't lift something like that, and Max can't lift it by himself. I mean, they're heavy. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. I think this is a little better. I hope it's okay for you with it, you know, not having as much light. I hope that's okay with you. I need more light up here. Like, all it is a ceiling fan with a light fixture, and I'd like to have some recessed lighting. You know, that would be so much better. You know, maybe it's something I'll do next year. You know, we're kind of tired of spending money, first of all. You know, we've been, since the day we bought it. Uh-oh, some of my putty's getting stuck to my canvas. There we go. But, yeah. But I'd like to paint in here as well, so I won't even think about it. What was those? Oh, here. No. Okay, where did I see those, y'all? Oh, well, just put them here. Then you'll have to get another one. But, yeah. And I think I am going to sell my sewing machine, or maybe give it away if someone needs it. I don't mind giving it away. I may ask some of my family, you know, does anybody want this? And the sewing table too, because I don't need it. And that would give me more room for my diamond paintings, right? Because even if I decided that I wanted to quilt again someday, that sewing machine is not going to cut it. I'd have to get a different one. So, you know, I thought there for a little bit that, you know, I might make, you know, it's not inexpensive. It was a Black Friday special, you know, from Amazon, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. And I thought, oh, you know, that'd be good to have. And I've only used it once. I watched a video on YouTube on how to use it. And I've only used it once, and that was just to see how it worked. And that's that. So, I mean, it seemed fine. It seemed fine if you wanted to, you know, sew clothes, or yeah, you could, obviously you could quilt on it. You could quilt by hand if you so chose. But, you know, it doesn't have a deep throat like you would if you were quilting. But, yeah. So that's what's been going on over here. I've got to get, I got more stuff to do too. I need to get, Snoopy has to get in to get some of his vaccinations, his yearlies, because I need to also make sure I have, you know, they've just taken their last of their heartworm and flea preventative for this month, so I need to get some more of that. Yeah. So I need to take him in. He sure is getting to be an old man. You know, his coat's looking tattered. You know, he's lumpy, he's bumpy. His hair is just kind of like, what is going on here? You know, like some parts just stick straight out. Never used to do that. It's like, what's going on with your hair follicles, son? But he is an old man. He will, in a couple of weeks, he will be 10. So, and I don't know you know, he was a rescue, so I don't know anything about, you know, where he came from. He was a owner surrender, so I don't think they paid, you know, they're probably from a backyard breeder, maybe, I don't know. So, Yeah. So I don't know anything about, you know, any of that stuff. Or he just may have been an oops-a-daisy puppy, but he was almost a year when he was surrendered to rescue, or to a shelter, and then the shelter reached out to the Dachshund Rescue. So, and that's how I got him. Oh, I hear Max taking out the trash already. He must be ready to get in his comfies already. I don't blame him though. But I think we have more trash than he realizes. So, but that's okay. I too can take out trash. Put in these K's. Get in there. There you go. So I am excited and I am nervous about this cross craft. I hope I don't let Artemis down. I hope I don't let y'all down. You know, I hope I do it right. Yeah. I am going to ask y'all though. I know some of you, because some of you have told me you've bought from here. In fact, it was a subscriber that actually, you know, Jackie, that actually suggested to try Ever After. And so I know some of y'all do. But if you haven't yet, you might want to. The only problem is it's not, you know, you do have to wait a little bit. I don't remember having to wait that long, but I don't really remember. But it's probably 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. I don't know. That's the only thing, you know. I mean, a lot of times when we order kits, we want them right now. You know, we you know, for some people don't have stashes, so they don't get a new one until they've finished, which is fine and great, and that's a great way to do it, but then you gotta wait. So, you know, if you have a stash like I do, it doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to get a kit for an event or something like that, well, you know, you got to order it in advance. So, but that's the only downside to them. And I absolutely love them. I absolutely love them. They are a legit shop with legit canvases and drills, and you are not, you know, giving up any quality whatsoever. So, yes, I do recommend them. So if you do, I'd like to know what you're working on. I realize this kit is very childish. I realize it. But, you know, sometimes childish things just make me happy. You know, it's like just simple. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, so complicated. Sometimes I just want simple. And that just helps my brain so much. And that's what this is to me. It's simple. It is a lot of color blocking. I know some people don't like that. I don't mind it, to be real honest with you. I don't mind it because I love the colors and I love the image. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Like I said, you know, you remember those old-timey coloring books that just got simple images, you know? You don't need 120 colors or anything. You just need a few. Well, I kind of like that sometimes. Although I do appreciate, you know, with more too. So, but sometimes I just want easy. It just relaxes my brain. And that's what this does. Sometimes I feel like, for no particular reason, you know, wait, I know I dropped one. Oh, here it is. It just feels like sometimes life just in itself can get so, I don't know, so busy, you know. Let's see, 9:13. think I have some more of those. Oh, hold on. Gotta move my chair. This chair does not back up on carpet very well. You should see my foot too, because, oh, this is like a brand new bag. I may have to, well, maybe not. Let's see. I thought maybe I'd have to get rid of some static, but maybe not. Oh, I forgot where I was going with that. What is this? 954. Okay. Oh, I ran over my stupid foot with my other chair. And yeah, twice. I think I was on video. I think I was recording a video too. It's like, ran over it once and said ow, and ran over it again and said ow. It's like, what the heck, you know? Your feet didn't go anywhere. The chair, you know, it's still right there. And yeah, that left some marks on my feet. I guess I need one of those plastic things. I guess 2 of them, I suppose. I don't know. There's a lot of A's here. A is 913. And I wish I knew if y'all could, how this is going to look. If it's not too dark for y'all. Believe it or not, it's actually a little easier on my eyes because I don't have the glare. But it is a little dark. So, I started watching last night this documentary. I should have not watched this documentary before I wanted to go to bed because I think the night before last I was asleep at 8:30, and last night at 10:30 I was just like, I need to turn this off. And but it was on hang on, I need to answer this real fast to Max. Yes, hang on, sorry. Send. But it's on Jerry Springer. If you've already watched it, you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, I did watch Jerry Springer some, but, I mean, it did get to where it was just like, this is the stupidest thing. You know, I'm losing brain cells here. So I did quit watching it. It was like, it was like tabloid TV. And like I said, I don't want to, create drama in my life. So, but, it's always been kind of a running joke, go on, you're going to end up on the Jerry Springer show or something. Oh my gosh, that show. I finished the first episode. I was going to start the second, and I think there's only 2. And I was like, no, I'll be up till 3. Because then I'll sit there and ponder all this stuff in my head. It's like, no, you just wait and finish it, tomorrow, which is today. But y'all, I mean, I don't know about all that stuff. I felt like it was kind of a precursor to what we have now with social media. It's like, what happened to keeping your business your business? And I felt like it helped people just throw their dirty laundry out there for everybody. And then people wanted to see the fights. That's what blows my mind, is that, that's what made the ratings go up. They were beating out Oprah. And, which, she dominated. But, people, that's what they wanted to see. And I'm like, what is wrong? What is wrong with us? It's just human nature. Do we take pleasure in seeing someone else suffer? Or, they had one guy on there that he left his wife, and is that no, looks fine. I don't see any tabs on it. Left his wife and 2 daughters, I think, and married a miniature horse, or yeah, married a horse. And the damn thing was licking them all in the mouth, and I'm just like, now you're just promoting insanity, you know. Now you're promoting insanity. Why is that not working? Oh, I see. I gotta, yeah. Okay, now I got it. You know, it's like, why? I mean, when I see someone who is obviously insane, I feel sorry for them, right? You know, I'm like, oh man, you poor thing. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to turn this light on because I gotta see what is up. Ah, well, no wonder there's one of those little trashy pieces. Here it is. See it? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, that's what was holding me up. So I think I'll go back to using this. But people revel in it, you know, they just absolutely gloat. And I don't understand. But, you know, people are still that way. People are still, I can't stand it. You know, people will post stuff, you know, they'll see someone having a episode probably from too much meth, and, you know, they'll laugh, and I'm like, this is not funny. You know, this is not funny. These people are mentally ill, you know, and you're laughing at them. And I'm like, if you saw a person out there with cancer, I mean, would you laugh at them? Would you mock them? I don't know. I don't know where we get off doing that. And I'm like, first of all, you got to be real careful, because, you know, what if that one day turns out to be your mom, your daughter, you know, your mother? You know, how hurtful that is. And instead of filming them and making fun of them, what about saying, hey, you know, can I help? Can I get this person some help? Do they need medical attention? Do they, you know, what do they need? Do they need something that I can provide, you know, as opposed to taking videos so that you can post it on social media? And then I also see these ones where they're like, oh, a fight broke out between these people, and there's people filming it, and not one person is like, let's try to help before someone gets killed. No, it's almost like they're wishing someone would get killed so they can get more views. And I just don't understand that mentality. You know, I don't know. I don't understand what causes people to do that. I mean, I'm not going to laugh at a homeless person. You know? I just don't get it. But that's the kind of stuff that makes me not like, you know, social medias, because everybody just thinks it's okay, you know. And I guess some of my favorite ones are, you know, like in your neighborhood groups or, you know, town groups and stuff. And it's usually starts with, if you drive a such and such, and you're in this group, then you're a jerk, you know. And I'm like, oh, for crying out. And most of the time they're anonymous, but it's like, you know, some people, it's like, they're not on here, and really all it does, okay, it's not like that person is actually going to, I mean, because they could see it, I don't know, but chances are it's just going to be, all it's going to come down to is, uh-oh, I spilled them, is people then chiming in about how bad the drivers are and how, you know, it's like, it just turns into a big argument, you know, and it's like, is that what you wanted? You know, is that what you were hoping for? That, because it seems like some people have to have an opinion, you know, like you can't just say, well, I don't know. But no, I do know. I wasn't there, but I do know. Because I'm like, you know, I have driven, you know, I would guess you would call me an aggressive driver. I don't pussyfoot around. I mean, I go. I don't wait, you know, for slow people, I guess. So, there, I said it. But, you know, I always think one of these days someone's going to, because they like to post your license plate number, you know. If this is you, you need to slow down. And I always think, well, if maybe you need to speed up, you know. But anyway, but it always just seems like that stuff is just thrown out there for somebody to get, you know, start crap. You know, there was somebody that was said today, you know, what is up when people don't like the way you drive and they get out of their vehicle? And I'm like, I have never had that happen to me, ever. You know, and I'm like, what did you do? You know, what did you do? Did you, you know, no one ever talks about what they did. Does it make it right that they got out of their vehicle? No. For the love of Pete, just go, you know, just go. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but I'm like, you know, I've seen some really bad drivers, you know, people that pull right out in front of somebody and then they don't go fast enough. And, you know, it's like, I don't know. But it just feels like that's what social media is. Just a bunch of people arguing. And like I said, everybody's got a, you know, sometimes you can keep that opinion to yourself. And I guess I could keep mine to myself. But I don't respond to everything. Sometimes I just shake my head and go, these people are for real? You know? We really had, I mean, in those neighborhood groups, oh my gosh. We don't have a neighborhood group here. It's not enough people. But I'm not sad about it because it just gets, sometimes it's like, do you not have anything better to do? You know, anything at all. And, you know, I was always amazed at people that would complain about, you know, in the summertime, why does people have to get their roofs worked on at 7 a.m.? Why do the lawn crew have to start at 7 a.m.? And it's like, would you like to get out there in that heat? Because I don't think so. But yeah. I don't know. I wonder if that's the same everywhere. I'm sure it is. I mean, people are people. I don't care if you live in a different country or speak a different language. People are people. Although I would suggest if you're going to, you know, get out of your car, you might want to be careful because people, I mean, they talk about it anyway. I mean, you can have, you know, any little bitty thing and, well, I hope they try that at my house. I'm like, oh my God, you just want to go around killing people? Because, okay, no. You know, I absolutely believe in your right to defend yourself and your property. No problem there. Absolutely no problem there. But if I had to kill somebody because they broke into my home or threatened my life, I would be messed up, y'all. I mean, that would haunt me for the rest of my life. Even though, you know, I was justified. I just wouldn't shoot somebody and go, woohoo, I'm so excited I killed somebody, you know. No, I would not do that. But there are some people that act like they're just sitting there waiting. You know, they've got itchy fingers or something. And it's just, I mean, I know one time somebody complained, rightfully so, about, you know, some kids that were riding some mini bikes where they shouldn't have been on mini bikes to begin with, but they went through someone's yard. And of course somebody was like, well, if they come over here and try that, they're going to be sorry they did. And I'm like, they're kids, you know. Don't you think shooting them is a little extreme for a mistake? You know, maybe talk to them, maybe go talk to their parents. You know, don't be trying to kill people. But again, you know, people sitting behind a keyboard, they're ready, you know, they are ready. But, yeah. Of course, I guess people don't talk about, you know, guns and stuff in some places, because some places don't have them. Well, we're coming along on this section, y'all. We are coming along. So, I am not a Taylor Swift person. I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to be at 62, but, you know, she's cute and all that good stuff, but I'm not a Swiftie, okay? I mean, she has some songs that I do like, and I think I actually have them in my iTunes, but, you know, I don't seek her out. I have no desire to go to a concert, none of that stuff. Just, you know, she's just not my cup of tea. And I listen to mostly country music anyway. But, so she's, you know, I guess Travis Kelce, who's with the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, could care less about him either. They're getting married, and so, of course, that's big news, big news. And someone had posted a meme that on his jersey, it was going to say Kelsey Swift. So, saying that, you know, she's going to be the boss of him. Truth is that's probably true with most marriages, right? But I am glad to, you know, see her settle down. Maybe she'll, you know, enjoy being married and maybe being a mother. I'm sorry I offend anybody with that, but I am a mother, and I think it's the greatest thing that I ever did, so. Oh, there's another F that I missed. EF. Another thing about these drills is they're in numerical order and in alphabetical order as well. And I like that. I like that a lot. I wish more places, I mean, they do have some symbols, you know, but I wish more places did that because it just really does help. Ah, geez, Louise. There was another one. I know a lot of people wait until they go back at the end and do them, but I can't. It's like, I'm a little OCD, I guess, about that. It's like, no, I have to fix it now. I have to fix it now. Because if I don't, it's just like it just gets in my head. Like, fix it now, fix it now. It's, yeah, you know. Remember, don't laugh at me. I'm a little crazy. No, you can laugh at me. That's fine. That's fine. I laugh at myself. So that's perfectly fine. All right, I think we got all the A's in that section. Okay, let's move over here. Yeah, we sure could use some rain. I had to get out there yesterday and water because even though we've got sprinklers, it's just so hot, you know, that you really got to get out there and drench the roots, you know, the plants and stuff that we got and the grass. It's like it's going to take some extra care. I mean, we're probably going to die of sticker shock when we see our water bill. I always thought League City was proud of their water, the city we lived in before, but this place is, it's like, okay, are we getting water from the Fountain of Youth or something here? Because, dang, it's expensive. But, you know, I know some people think it's a waste of money and water to, you know, take care of our lawns, but I like a nice lawn. I always have. I grew up liking a nice lawn. So, yeah. So we will water. I'm not going to let it die. Some people did that one time. I mean, they did, like, they refused to water their grass, and it turned rust. I mean, it was just dead. It was dead. And I guess they thought, oh, well, it'll come back. Well, it didn't, because the chinch bugs got to it, because that's what happens. And so the only thing that ended up being there were just these horrible weeds. So they had to come in and have all of it removed and have all of their sod replaced. And I was like, probably wouldn't have hurt to water once or twice a week. Oh, that one's a bad one. But, you know, we didn't really plant grass at the right time. You know, we've been trying to plant grass since, you know, March. So it's not like we didn't try. Oh, there's a whole bunch of F's here. Gosh dang it. Let's see. No, that's too much for there. Let's see. Let's try this here. There is a whole bunch of F's, y'all. I may have to wait because this isn't just a matter of one or two. Dang it. Oh, boy. So what are y'all watching? Are y'all watching anything good? I'm really into documentaries. It's like I don't really want to commit myself to a movie. Now, if something comes out that's like a historical fiction or, what do they call them when they're like movies, but they're based on, you know, something based on a true story, something like that. But what do they call that? Anyway, I like that kind of stuff. I've also really started, you know, YouTube. You watch one thing, well, it'll recommend something to you, right? And what my YouTube recommends for me on my TV is completely different than what it recommends to me on my iPad, which is normal because on my iPad I watch diamond painting. So my TV's different. And they recommended, I don't know, apparently it's a thing in Japan. They hire workers from the Philippines. And so I had gotten into watching those. And what's funny is it seems like they all are friends. And they all have channels. But, you know, I've never been to the Philippines. I've only seen pictures. But what I've seen are just absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't understand why a country with so much beauty that can grow so many things, you know, it's so tropical. Why people can't make any money, you know, like this, most of them, they send money home and so they can improve the quality of life for their family. I mean, one of them, one girl, she went to university or college in the Philippines, and she got her degree on what we would call a phlebotomist, but she was considered a med tech who, you know, draws blood, does tests, and all that stuff. She made way more money in working in Japan in a food processing plant. And that just blows my mind, you know? It just really blows my mind. And I don't know why that is. Usually, when you see stuff like that, it's because the government is so corrupt, you know, that they steal the funds that should be helping the citizens. But I don't know anything about the Philippines, really, so I don't know. Like I said, I know it's beautiful, and I'd like to go someday. But, and I noticed some of them, you know, they'll show you around town, and they speak, you know, they have English written up a lot of places, so I know they speak English. But I know, like, to go work over in Japan, you have to take, you have to learn Japanese. So, you know, you can't just show up there and go, well, no, I don't speak Japanese, but I can do this. No, you got to be able to speak Japanese. And they test you. So, yeah. I'm just like, I can't imagine having to learn Japanese. That's where they'd lose me. Like, I could learn, I think I could, well, I already know a little bit of Spanish, not a lot, but I could absolutely learn that. I could learn, I think I could learn Italian because there's some similarities there. Oh, jeez. Why is it not going in there? And I think I could learn, well, Spanish and Italian. I think I could learn that. But, no, none of these other ones because they're just too much. Way too much. And I almost did. I mean, I had a book on learning Spanish and, you know, because I really did, you know, I mean, that makes the most sense here in the U.S. Because, you know, Mexico's right there. We have a very large Hispanic, which is, you know, not just Mexico, but El Salvador, Guatemala, you know, all those. Venezuela even. But, oh, another trashy one. Seeing some trashies. I don't know, but I don't understand why this. I don't know. I'll have to work on that one there. Let's see. But, I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, so it must be tough in your home country if not only do you have to learn a new language, but you also have a new culture that's different from your own. And you're away from your family. You know, it's got to be rough, in my opinion, you know, if you do all that. But, I don't know. Let's put these F's in here so they won't be glaring at me. I don't think we've done any E's yet. I don't know. Oh, come on. But yeah, if you haven't watched any of those, they're pretty interesting. This one company, Japanese company that's a food processing plant. I don't know what they do inside. They don't show that, but they work a lot of hours. But they actually will put them up in housing, you know. They seem to be very, very good to their employees, you know. No one mentions anything about being discriminated against because they're not Japanese. But, you know, maybe, I don't know. I mean, they might also be afraid that, you know, the people that work at the company or, you know, the managers and stuff will find them on, you know, YouTube and, yeah. So maybe they just say all these nice things. But man, that would be so hard. They're again, you know, it's just a way of life. Now, you know, coming from the Philippines, a lot of them, I mean, they have very tiny houses, very, very tiny houses. But in Japan, they do too. And it would take a little bit for me to get used to, because some of them, I mean, it's their kitchen, their bedroom, their living room, everything is just one room, you know, and with tiny little furniture. So that would be hard, I think, for me. You know, because I would imagine on my days off, like anybody else, I would like to just relax and enjoy it. But one girl that I watched, she actually married a Japanese man. So I don't know. I mean, it's like, I wonder if they'll ever go to the Philippines, you know, so he can meet her family. Or does she ever plan on going to the Philippines, or, you know, or what? I don't know. At least I think he's Japanese. Yeah, I think he is. Yes, he's Japanese. He is. So I don't know. You know, it's like, what do you do in that situation? But I do remember she had to do some different applications to stay in the country now that she was married. And I don't think it's a case of, I'm going to marry this man just so I can, you know, no. Because, she was fine there. But, yeah, I don't think that was it at all. I mean, they're actually married. So, yeah, they're moving into a bigger apartment. So that's good. But I wonder, you know, if there's anything in the contract about, you know, if they get pregnant. You know, how is that handled? I don't know. I've never been to Japan. I'd like to go, but I think I would be hungry because I don't. What is going on here? This one here has got me buffaloed. I don't know. It's like it doesn't fit. Maybe I just need to lift it up a little bit. I don't know. I'm telling you. You can't see what I'm doing, but there's just, I don't know. We'll see what happens at the end, and when I do my review, we'll discuss. We'll talk. Oh, and then something else I've gotten into, and it really does put me to sleep. I will be the first to tell you I don't like ASMR. Well, it turns out I do, but not, I don't like this. I hate that. I mean, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I don't even like watching it with the sound off. It's like, ugh. You know, I hate it. But they've got like how the Japanese put on the I guess like the geishas or whatever, the makeup, and that will put me to sleep. But they're just, you know, kind of whispering to each other, and that does not bother me at all. I like it. And I'm not kidding. I mean, I'll be watching it, next thing you know, I'm like, night, night. But I find that so interesting, or how they do their hair. I mean, oh my gosh. I don't know if you've ever watched or not, but oh my word, those are artists. People who put, you know, do the hair and the makeup, they're artists. It's crazy. It is crazy. I didn't really like the people doing the facials and stuff. That didn't really work for me. But there was one that I'm still watching because I fell asleep. But apparently she's a K-pop artist or actress. I don't know. I don't know if it's music or if that's acting. I don't know. But for her wedding, doing her wedding makeup. And they really do a lot of skincare. I mean, it's like, first we're going to clean your face, then we're going to put this moisturizer, now this moisturizer, now this moisturizer. It's like, gosh, dang. But when they get done, it's like their makeup is so subtle, you know? It's not big eyelashes and thick brows and, you know, it's none of that. It's very natural looking, actually. And it's like, I like that. I do. I like that. I've thought about, I know when I went to get my hair done today, they had a place where they had 2 stations that looked like makeup stations. And of course, there was a whole bunch of makeup and stuff there. So I was like, so they've got makeup artists, I guess. And I was going to ask, but I didn't. You know, I just recently started wearing makeup again. Not all the time, but sometimes after, gosh, 15 years of not wearing makeup. And, you know, my skin has gotten a little older. So I'm like, you know, I really would like to find someone who could help me with my makeup. You know, like, here's my makeup. Tell me what to do, what not to do for my wrinkles. So that would be nice. Because I want to grow old gracefully. I you know, I do not want to, I mean, you know, I'm not judging you if that's what you want to do. That's great that if you do, and that you like the way it makes you feel, that's great. But I just don't want to be, you know, with my lips looking, I don't know, like someone punched me in the mouth. And plus, when you get older, I just think you're not supposed to, you know? It's just not going to look right. But, and I figure, you know, if you look at some of these movie stars and stuff, and just looking at, and you got to know that, you know, they can definitely afford better plastic surgeons than I can. And I'm like, do they just not, I mean, I would want a doctor to go, no, that's not going to look good on you. Because I did get a brow lift one time. What I thought I wanted was an eyelid thing. And he was like, well, the thing is if you do that, you're going to, he goes, this is back when, Kenny Rogers was, still alive and everything. And he goes, you're going to have that surprise look like Kenny Rogers does. And I was like, oh, I don't want that. And so he was like, no, just do a brow lift. Well, that's been probably 15 years ago now, and that brow lift is coming down. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the scars were in my hairline. They're not anymore. And so that's what I think. I think, well, if you do all this, then you get older, and yes, the scars are in your hairline, but your face starts sagging. So, but I think I would like to find someone who could give me tips and pointers for my old skin with sunspots and, And I wouldn't mind doing something about my sunspots, my age spots. I did buy me some helichrysum to see if that would help. All right, y'all, let's see. We did it. We finished this section. So now we can pull this off and this off. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Let me put this back in here, put this up, and I'll see if I can't zoom you out a little bit. Let's see. All right, let me stand up. So, yeah, what do you think? There is, so I've got one. After I do that, this one's going to be just one because this will just end up leaving a little tiny piece. So after I get done with this, then I'm just going to do this one as one. So 2 more sections and I'll be done. And I'm excited about that. Very much so. So, all right, everyone. Well, I don't think I have anything else to share with you that you would even care to hear about. I don't know that you care to hear about any of that. But if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, well, if you're made it this far, why not subscribe? You know, you might enjoy the content that I put up. So I greatly would appreciate it. Both of those things help my channel, as well as just leaving me a comment. You can be an emoji or whatever makes you happy. That also helps my channel. So yeah, any of those things. And of course, if you share the channel with others that might enjoy it, that would be helpful as well. So anyway, y'all, all right, well, I am gonna get off of here and I should see you on Saturday when we do the live for the Crosscraft event. So I'll see y'all later. Bye. Bye.